Hello and welcome to your first HTML tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll show you the basics of HTML. So, in order to program in HTML, you actually don't need to download anything. All you need is a web browser and Notepad, except I'm going to be using Notepad++, so it's easier. But in order to create our HTML document, we just have to open up an untitled Notepad, save it as, and then I'll call this HTML tutorial, and you have to save it as .html, and then save that to your desktop. Then I'll exit out of this, and now I can right click it and click edit with Notepad++, and here's Notepad++, and then I can open up then I can just open this up in another, hold on a second, in another area. So this is my web browser Chrome, and then this is where the code will go. So I'll have to save it if I want to change it. So the first thing that you have to do with all HTML is you have to start it off with doc type and then HTML, like that. And hold on a second, I don't know why. Okay, sorry, that was kind of hard to read. And then you want to do these two things and say HTML here, and then you want to close it off by doing /HTML, just like that. So now we have our basic HTML setup. However, if I save this, there'll still be nothing there because we haven't done anything yet. So the first thing that we can actually do is we can create two brackets like this and then just call this H1. And what that stands for is header1. And with header1, we have to also close this off, and this will be a header. So then we could say my website. So if we save that and then load this, my website shows up because it's in the header right there. And actually, you should always, right here, it just says the name of the HTML document. We should always set a title like this and call this tutorial. And actually, all of these have to be in something called the body. So we want to create body and body. This is just for organization. You don't technically have to have it there, but it's really good to have it there. So yeah, so if we just Control S that, nothing will change except your title will change. And then the next thing that we can do is we can add a paragraph underneath our website and underneath our header. So we can say P and then end that with /P, and we'll say this is a paragraph, or just this is a sentence, and then it appears down there. This is a sentence. And I guess I'll show you a little bit of CSS in this tutorial too. CSS and HTML, actually CSS, HTML, and JavaScript can all work together in one thing, which is one thing I really like about web development. So I'm going to be showing you how you can use CSS also. So how you start a CSS is you have to go up here, outside of the body, and then you have to say style. And then once you write that style, the parser will know that you're no longer talking about HTML, you're starting to talk about CSS. So if you want to set the color for, say, your header, then you can do pound 8, or actually no, you just have to say H1, and then it'll know what to do with that. H1, and then you'll say color, colon, and then let's just do, like, I don't know, blue, and then like that. And then if we run that, this one changes to blue. But let's say I have multiple headers. So if I have another header down here, H1, and then my site 2, H1, this one's also going to be blue. But what if I don't want this one to be blue? I could change this to H2, but this is just for more in general. Then if I didn't want this one to be blue, I could set an ID. I could set an ID for this one equal to header 1. And then instead of saying for all H1s, I could do pound, then just call this one header 1, and then this one will be black. Or I could set an ID for this one as well, ID equal to header 2, and then I could say pound header 2, and then I could set color purple for this one, and then that'll set that to purple. I'm going to show you one more thing that you can do and you can actually include JavaScript in this. So I'm going to be showing you a little bit of all the languages you can include. So how you start a JavaScript is you say script, and then you end it with script, like that. So now the parser will know you're not talking about HTML, you're not talking about CSS, you're talking about JavaScript now. So with JavaScript, one thing that's really good about JavaScript is it's a very simple language, so it's not complex like most of our CSS or C++ tutorials. So if we want to do something, we could just say document, did I spell that right? Document dot write, and then I could say hello, like that. And then if I save that, hello will appear there. But what if I don't want it to always be there? Then I could actually put this under, I could get rid of this, I could call var say hello equal to a function, so you can set variables as functions, and then document dot write hello. And then under our paragraph here, we can add something called onClick, and then we can set that equal to the name of our function, say hello. And then if we save that, hello will go away, but if we click this, then it'll change to hello. But notice that it got rid of everything else. I'll show you how to get around that in future tutorials. But yeah, that's going to do it for this tutorial on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up. All the source code will be down in the description, and I'll see you next time.